It's been fun trying to keep up with Australian news. Been here for 3 weeks now. I watch the news every single day. It's adorable. It really is. It's adorable. Like I think it was the week before I came out, I started watching just before I came, just to see what some of the headlines were and everything. I remember the tone of the presenter. They were like, and in sad news, Reagan has announced she will not be competing in any future Olympics. I love how that was a news story. That's when I knew that Australia is having a good time as a place. The fact that that could make the news tells you how well you are doing, right? The news could actually save and put aside time to talk about the fact that Reagan would no longer be competing. Like, I love how they said it like we thought there was a chance that she would. They're like, Reagan has announced that she will not be competing in the next Olympics. We're like, yeah, we know. We all knew. We knew from the first moment when she did this. And everybody else watching was like, yeah, this person's not coming to the next Olympics. I don't know which part of this made someone think next Olympics. Oh, man. I'm happy for Reagan. I like what she did. First of all, people didn't even know breakdancing was in the Olympics. So kudos to her. Everyone watched because of that, you know. Yeah, secondly, do your thing, leave your mark. Nobody knows who won any discipline at most Olympics. Nobody cares. That's what you want. You want to be remembered. That's what you did. You did something special. And what a way to do it. What a way to do it. She used up all her white privilege at one time. At one time. Most people sprinkle it through their lives. Save some for a promotion. Oh, got pulled over, but gonna get let off with a warning. Oh, get some land that I shouldn't have. Oh. Reagan was like, I'm going all in. Like, Reagan, you can't use it all at once. Watch me. Reagan. How did you feel in Australia? Were you angry? Were you mad? Were you happy? Were you sad? Were you Australian? You Australian? Say again? It was a piss take. Huh. Wow. What do you mean by, do you mean like as Australia, like you sent it into the world, or because I like that phrase, it was a piss take. Like, do you mean like, as in like she didn't take it seriously, or or like did she like destroy the institution? What does piss take mean in this particular context? It was a laugh. Okay, I don't think we're getting any closer. Because what I mean is like, was it a laugh, haha, because we're witnessing it? Or was it a laugh because like, haha, I can't believe this is happening? Or was it a laugh, or like, were you ashamed? No, you were just like, you just laughed. She's taking the piss. Ah, so she's taking the piss. Ah, okay. Well, he said it was just a piss take. You see? I think this is the thing Australians forget sometimes. The specificity of ownership of the piss is very important. Okay? Very important. He said it was a piss take. I don't know who is responsible for the taking of that piss. It changes everything. Maybe she didn't plan properly, and so it becomes a piss take, but she didn't plan said take. Does that make sense? But when you say taking the piss, oh, now I understand completely. Now I'm with you. Just taking the piss, Trev. Sometimes I feel like Australia is taking the piss. Just as a place. Just like as a vibe. And I get it. I think you need to as Australia. You know? Things are going too well out here. And I know you think they aren't, because you have to tell yourselves that so that you feel like you live in like a functioning place where things go wrong and stuff, but it doesn't. I'll tell you as somebody from the world, no. No. Guys have... I saw in the news, they came up, they were like, major scandal. The Prime Minister under fire. On the news tonight, ABC News, Prime Minister under fire for accepting upgrades on Qantas Airlines. That story was the perfect encapsulation of Australia taking the piss. It is the perfect encapsulation. Because at first I thought I wasn't understanding what was happening, and then upon further investigation I found out it was what I thought, and worse. Your politicians are in trouble because they got free upgrades on Qantas Airlines. That is the extent of the scandal. This is it. Not they kicked Australians in the seats, out of the seats so that the politicians could sit in. No. No. They just got a free upgrade, as in they had already purchased the tickets, and then the airline upgraded them further. And I understand, like, for some of the politicians, maybe, but then there were like two people who were in trouble. The Prime Minister in trouble, and it's like your Minister of Tourism or Transport. Yeah? I was like, but you're the Minister of Transport. If the Minister of Transport cannot get a free upgrade in the transport sector, then what is the point of the job? What are we doing here? Yeah, people were like, oh, Trev, but it is a scandal. I was like, no, to me the scandal is the fact that your Prime Minister is flying commercial. That's more of a scandal to me. The leader of your country is just like hustling with you guys. My mind was blown. It's like, so that's what you were like, oh, they shouldn't get it. You don't think the Prime Minister should get a free upgrade. You just want them there with you. Just be, oh, sorry, do you mind if I? Sorry, yeah, just trying to, sorry, yeah, oh, sorry about that. Oh, yeah, just gotta get, oh, sorry. Yeah, do you mind if I just put it up? Yeah, yeah. Oh, no, I just got the nuclear codes. I just want to put them up there if you don't mind. Yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, I just got to go. Oh, can I have my laptop? Oh, I can't have it out. Yeah. Oh, I'm expecting an email from China. Yeah. Oh, we don't have Wi-Fi. Oh, to New Zealand, no Wi-Fi. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I'll figure it out. It's all right. Don't worry. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, no, I'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh, sorry, could I get a serviette, please? Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he spilled something on top secret documents, yeah. He was getting up, and he spilled his drink on the top secret documents, yeah. Yeah, we don't know what the budget of the country is anymore, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I'll ask him to move. Oh, yeah, yeah. What an insane story. That story has been in the news every single day that I've been here. Every day. The first day I was like, okay, I get it. Maybe there's nothing else. The second day, third week, I was like, come on, guys. Surely something else is happening in your lives. Weeks. People are like, but Trevor, we can't tolerate this. This is corruption. I was like, you think this? Oh, be still my heart. Oh, as a South African, I was watching that. I was like, you think that's corruption? Oh, oh, your politician got a free upgrade. Oh, our politicians got given airports. To Paris, France, to do shows. For the first time in my life, I was very excited. Always wanted to perform in Paris, didn't know what it would be, but can I tell you? Paris is everything they tell you it is. It is easily one of the most romantic cities I have ever been to in my life. I fell in love 1,000 times. I was by myself, it didn't matter. Yeah. Every night it was just me and those bed bugs, baby. I really enjoyed Paris because You know, I got to meet Parisians in person. You know, not stereotypes, not things that you're told about them. No, actually meet French people, learn about them from them. And I learned some truly amazing things. For instance, the French have a very different relationship with work than the rest of us. All right? In that they don't give a shit about it. Which honestly I found inspiring. Yeah, I feel like a lot of us have become a little too attached to our work, you know? We identify with our work. Have you ever asked somebody just randomly, be like, hey, tell me about yourself? And they'll be like, well, I'm an architect. And tell me about yourself. Well, you know, I own a hair salon. And tell me about yourself. Well, I'm a teacher. And tell me about yourself. And people will tell you about what they do. You know? It's become the thing that people focus on. The French don't do that. No. You'll never meet a French person who does that. You go up to a French person, you'll be like, excuse me, what do you do? Be like, oh, me, I go for walks with my friends, and, you know, I like to, eat good food, and you're like, no, what do you do for a living? It's like, for a living, pardon, okay, for a living, okay, no, I breathe, and, you know, I drink water, and, you know, of course I have to make love, you know, It's just a different way to be, man. You know, not being so attached to your work. It was lovely. I learned this because when I flew to Paris, my luggage was lost. Right? Yeah, landed in the airport and bags were gone, didn't arrive. I discovered this obviously at the carousel, which is one of those shitty things that airlines do to you. Right? They know your bags are not coming. Yeah, they know where your bag is every single moment. But they don't tell you. They let you stand there like an idiot with hope in your heart. They could literally come to your seat before you take off and just be like, it's not coming. Spoiler alert. But they don't. They let you take off with all that joy like an idiot. Whee! I landed in Paris. I thought it was the beginning of a great trip. I was skipping around. I had my full luggage swag. And I was like, I'm going to get my bags, go into Paris, start exploring. Got to the carousel. I was like, full luggage swag. That's right. Let me get my luggage, everybody. I was like, excuse me. Make some space, please. I would also like to lean over the carousel. It makes the bags come quicker. Come on, lucky bag. I had full luggage swag. Bags started coming out. I was standing there judging them. Who still uses Samsonite? Where's my bag? Bags going around. And then new bags stopped coming out. I started worrying. And then at some point there were fewer and fewer bags. And I was like, oh, my bag's not coming. And I realized my bag hadn't arrived. It was terrible. I had the same feeling I had as a child when my mom would forget me at school. The exact same feeling. I was just standing at the carousel. I felt like I was that kid, 10 years old again, just like, no, Mr. Wilkinson, it's fine. You can go. My mom's gonna come. Don't worry, you can go home. She's coming. She wouldn't forget me. No, she's probably dead somewhere right now. She's probably in a ditch, lying dead. She forgot me. She'd forget me occasionally. And then I'd have to walk home. It was like an hour walk. And I'd get home. And she'd always have the same reaction when I walked into the house. Because my mom worked from home. And so she'd have like a little computer where she'd be typing away. And I'd walk into the house and I'd close the door, be like, always the same reaction. She'd be like, no, baby, no. Oh, what time is it? And I'll be like, it's too late. I'm not gonna lie, I hated being forgotten at school, but I savored those moments. Because it wasn't any sweat, to be honest. Like, I liked walking, you know. It's not like I was stressed on the walk. I'd be kicking stones, singing on the way back. And then I'd get to the house and I'd be like, no, wait a minute. I I loved it because that was the one moment when I was allowed to give my mom unlimited attitude with no repercussions. None. Yeah, because when I was a kid, you couldn't just be like give attitude to your parents. Like I wasn't a white child, you know what I mean? You couldn't. I had to watch myself. But when she messed up, ooh, I loved it. I'd walk in, she'd be like, oh, can you forgive me, baby? I'd be like, I'll think about it. So now I had to find somebody to help me. I look around. It's an older French gentleman standing on the side. Gray hair, rosy cheeks, short little guy with glasses. And so I walked over to him, and he was wearing a red vest. And in French, it read, information. And then underneath in English said, information. I was like, phew. Bonjour, hello, hi. He's like, oh, hello, bonjour, bonjour. I said, English, French? He said, English? Yeah, oui. I said, okay, could you help me, please? My luggage didn't arrive. I would like to know, what do I need to do? He's like, oh, the luggage didn't come. If you go fine for that one, maybe you can put you, because different flight airline can be put in on different ones. So you have to try to maybe go on different. Maybe they will come in for tracking, look inside the app, and that one you can be fine for you, because it's not the more different ones, because we are not in control with the airport, but these different ones they are put in for the airline, they are in control, so maybe you can choose for that one. I was like, okay. All right, let's try French. Let's see what happens. Finally, we figured it out. He sent me off to a special area where you go and I guess make a report. And when I get there's another French guy who's behind the counter, much younger, right? He was like maybe Algerian, Moroccan of descent, but very French, cool guy. And he's behind the counter helping someone. He's like, okay, thank you very much, thank you. Next, please. And I walk up and like, hey man. He's like, hey, what's going on, my brother? How are you, man? What's up with you? What's up? I was like, I need your help, please. My luggage, it didn't come. It's lost. He's like, oh no, dude, your luggage didn't come. Oh man, did you look for it? So what? Yeah, that's the first thing I did. What, you think I'm just here for company? Well, of course that's what he's like, oh no, just checking. Okay, so the bag is gone, it's totally, I'm like, yeah, it's gone. He's like, oh man, that sucks, man. I'm so sorry for you, man. That's terrible. Yeah, so what do you want to do now? So what do I want to do? So well, I would like you to do something, like can we like make a report or something? He's like, okay, yeah. You want to make some paperwork or something? It's for your insurance, so they can pay you for it. I said, no, it's so that you can find it and bring it to me. He's like, oh no, don't worry, man, don't worry. We are not going to find it. No, man. No, don't worry about that. No, you know, it's Paris, man. When the bags are gone, they're probably gone. Yeah, they don't ever pop up. Sometimes if you are lucky, but if it's not here by now, it's probably gone, you know. It's Fridays, there are some strikes, you know, just you can leave. Don't even stress yourself. You can go. It's like, don't even stress myself. Yo, this is my luggage. This is like all my clothes. He's like, yeah, but you are in Paris, you need clothes? This is Paris, man. Come on, Paris, go and buy some clothes. What's wrong with you, man? Chill. He was so confident, he made me feel like I was wrong. Like I doubted myself. I walked away and I was like, am I wrong? Am I too attached to my luggage? He wasn't lying. Paris does have a great selection of clothing. I had to go and buy clothes because I had nothing for my shows, for anything. And if you ever do go to Paris, take some extra money for the clothes shopping. It's amazing. And try and also pack an extra pair of self-esteem. Yeah, you'll need it when you shop with the French, because they're not your friends. Yeah, I've never been to a country where you are truly on your own when you're shopping. Like you walk into a store, nobody helps you, nothing. You don't know who works there, you don't know who's doing anything. Literally, it's like undercover employee. You're just walking around. It's like 20 minutes, nobody helped me. And then finally I started picking my own clothes. And then I heard like an annoyed voice behind me. It was like, can I help you? I was like, hi, yes, I need to get a few clothes, please. My luggage was lost. And then Detroit, I got roasted more than I've ever been roasted in my life. Ever. I got roasted. Everything I chose came with a scathing review. I was like, yeah, could I please get this in a medium? He's like, medium? No, you mean large or extra large? No? Yeah, no, this one is the medium for your body. I don't think so, no? I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, no, yeah, I think you are large, extra. I can bring that one for you, okay? Medium is too much for the shirt, okay? I'm like, what? Yo, everything. There's a point where there's a jacket I wanted to buy. I was like, yeah, could I get this? He's like, oh no, this one for your skin tone is not great. No, you have to think about what is complementary for the colors inside the fabric and also inside your face, okay? This one is not the best. I was like, yo, I already own something like this. He said, and you are wearing it? Oh, not anymore. He's like, no, you can wear it if you want. No, c'est tranquille, go ahead. I was like, no, you threaten me now. You know what, it's just different. A friend said to me, was like, dude, the French are assholes, right? I was like, no, I don't think that they're assholes. I think they're just very honest, right? And a lot of the time, it's hard to tell the difference between the two. Because one day I was speaking to a French woman, and I worked up the courage to ask her. I said, hey, why are the French like this? And she said, what do you mean? I said, like when you're in like a store, you know, they seem very mean. She's like, oh no, they are not being mean, they are just being themselves, no? You know, maybe because you are used to coming in a country where people are, you know, they are so afraid that you're not going to tip them, that, you know, they are all on top of you. Can I help you? Can I help you? But in France, we are making sure that everybody is getting like a good salary, a good wage. So we are not, you know, so stressed about that, huh? You know, in America, it's like, oh, the customer is king, But in France, you know what we do to kings. So, you know, it's not the same here. The French don't play that game. Some of you may or may not know, I got a job. This is fantastic for me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. That's how my grandmother put it, funny enough. I phoned my grandmother to tell her that I'd be working on The Daily Show, and she was really excited. She was like, "Ooh, Trevor, I'm so happy for you. Well done, you got a job." I said, no, Granny, I already had a job. And she's like, no, you didn't. Did you have an office? I said, no. She's like, then it wasn't a job. That's all she cares about. My mom was a bit better. I called her to tell her the news. And to give you a bit of a backstory, I've got two younger brothers. Right? So one brother is 9 years younger than me, and then the youngest is 20 years younger than me, right? And so the youngest just became one of the student council members in his school, right? So he got onto the student council. So I phoned my mom to tell her my good news. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, oh, Mom, I don't know if you heard, I'm going to be on The Daily Show. And she's like, oh, my baby, I'm so excited. Oh, praise Jesus. This is wonderful. Well done, baby. I'm so happy for you. And did you hear what happened to your brother? I'm like, no, what happened? She's like, oh, he's on the student council at his school. Oh, I'm so excited. Both my boys are doing big things in the world. I'm so happy. Oh. And I was like, yeah, some things are bigger than others. She's like, no, it's all the same. I was like, you say that, but I mean, you know. Come on, you know. She's like, okay, fine. You were never student council, so let's cheer for you. You're like, what? Such a fun sound. Sound of happiness. The sound of white happiness in particular. Yeah. I've tracked it. I've searched for the source of woohoo, and I found it originated with white people. Yeah. White woman in particular. Yeah. That's where it comes from. That is the sound of a white woman's turn up. That is the sound of her getting into the game. It's like, Tammy! Woohoo! And that's when you know it's on. Yeah, because everyone else learned it from white women. That's where it came from. You know, it spread through society like a virus.
It's not the natural sound anybody else makes. White people make that sound instinctively, but everyone else has learned it. Like, white men were the first ones to learn it because for them it's sort of like a mating call. They know what it means. They have to reciprocate, like, woo, whoa. But everyone else had to learn it. It's a natural sound for them, but for nobody else. Like, black people woohoo, but it's not the natural sound black people make for fun. You know, black people can woohoo, black people often do woohoo, but it's not instinctively a black sound of happiness. And I think it's because black people are uncomfortable with the woohoo. Deep down inside, there's a certain moment in woohoo when every black person stops enjoying it. There's just a moment when, and maybe this is just my personal experiences, but I feel it sounds eerily similar to a police siren. There's just a moment where it stops being fun. It's just that split second where it's like, woohoo, woo, 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 woo. Like, put your hands in the air and keep them there. It's not the sound of happiness in my life. That's not. Although I guess that's why white people do it, because white people love calling the police. So they're probably like, woo! Oh my God, the cops are here! Party time! Come on in. I thought you'd never make it.
Jacob Zuma was supposed to be the craziest president South Africa ever had. It was the only reason I voted for him. It was just madness. And look at him, he's come in and he wears a tie and a suit. He stopped singing. He's got a cabinet that looks like they know what they're doing. He's going to fight corruption, and he even fired Manto Shabalala Msimang. I was expecting a madman, a crazy guy, someone who was just going to throw the country away. And look who I got, someone who's actually doing their job. I can't believe it. Once again, the ANC has failed to deliver. I wanted Jacob to be wild. I pictured this guy walking into Parliament 4 hours late, not even wearing a shirt, you know, his tummy hanging out, walking in there wearing a little plastic crown, busy singing to himself. Helen Ziller and the other guys in Parliament losing it. Jacob, you're late. You can't just come here. You can't come 4 hours late. Hey, shut up, shut up. Hey, shut up. Hey, late for who? Late for who? Late for who? It's my time now. Hey, shut up, when. Yeah. Thought he was going to be crazy, you know? Helen and them fighting with him. No, Jacob, you can't just run this place the way you want. Jacob getting angry, whipping his penis out, hitting on the forehead. Pa! No, because I mean, it's not so. It's not so. It just makes that sound, you know, like that. It's not. And I mean, like, what are you gonna do if someone does that to you? Like, what are you gonna go to the police? Like, what do you do? What do you tell them? I mean, is it assault or is it sexual harassment? How does it work? You know, you never know. I mean, what do you even say at the police station? Can you imagine walking in there and them asking you that question? You'd be there, and then who hit you? Who? With what? On your head. Just tell this guy, tell him what happened. Tell him. I'm not laughing. Hey? Yeah. Either you are very short or he's very gifted, eh? But I've realized Americans have a very strange perception of Africa. I don't blame you guys, though, you know. It's because of the images that you fed on TV, you know, the stuff that you see of us. You just get all these UNICEF ads, you know. Those infomercials, those are horrible. That's all I've seen of home, you know. Because you've got these people and they're really gaunt and they're skinny and they're just like, you know, and they've got the kwashiko and everything and they just look as horrible as possible. They just get there and, you know, they're shooting this. And then Penelope Cruz will start talking as the woman's holding her starving baby in her arms, and they'll come in and be like, every year, more than 5 million children are starving in Africa. You can make a difference if you donate $10 a month. You can donate a family's life. and you can change everything. Look at this child. And they show you the kid and, and they go in there. And I understand this is a painful thing, I understand. But I just don't understand the small elements. Why do they include that, Why is it that in every single one of these infomercials, why do they always have to have these people with the fly? What is up with that fly? I don't understand it. What is going on with the fly? There's always the flies. And it's not just the flies in the shot. It's not just the shot. It's not just the flies there, but they've got the flies and they sit in a very specific place. They always sit on their mouth, like always on the top lip. It's always on the top. How do they get the fly? I've tried. It's very difficult to get a fly to sit on your top lip. How do they achieve this goal? I'm sitting there watching this, and they always get it. It's almost like they don't shoot without the fly now. It's like, it's like the flies become the watermark of a starving African. It's like a trained fly. Is this one of your Disney flies? Is it one of those? Come on, boy. Get in there, and stay. Okay, we're ready, and action. Every year, more than 5 million children are starving. You can make a difference if you donate $100. It's just madness. What is it? And it angers me. It really does. I understand. There's people starving. Yes, there are people starving in Africa. I do understand this. There are people starving. But I don't understand why they need to make us look that bad. And yes, I will say it. They do make us look bad. They make the whole of Africa look bad. They make me look bad, and they make me angry. Because I grew up in a black family in Africa. And no matter how poor we were, no matter how hungry we were, no matter what, we could still...
East Coast to come and do shows, right? And I don't connect to the Wi-Fi whenever I'm traveling. I just like to relax. And landed in Boston. And the first time I knew my life had changed was when someone walked past me on the plane as I was packing my laptop bag, and he just held me on the shoulder and he's like, "Trevor, you fight. You got this. Fight. Come on, you got this." It's like, did I look like I was struggling that much? Walking through the airport, people were giving me random thumbs ups of support. Like, "Yeah, come on, you got this. Yeah, hey, yeah." Except black people. Black people were like, "Hey, man." And then I turned on my phone. And honestly, I thought the thing was malfunctioning. Because it started vibrating even before the icons popped up. It was the Apple logo, and my phone was just like, like, what the hell? And then when I turned it on, it was just notifications everywhere. I was like, oh man, did Michael Jackson die again? What happened? What is going on? Because every app was going crazy. It was like iMessage, bling, 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 WhatsApp, blah, 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 Twitter, da, 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 Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Even Uber Eats was like, yo, you got some hot shit coming in, man. And I went to my messages, and everyone I've ever known in my life had texted me. From kindergarten teachers onwards. "Trevor, oh my God, are you okay? Trevor, where are you? What's happening? Did you see? Trevor, call me. Yo, don't call me. Call me. Trevor, what's happening? Trevor, did you see?" And then one person was like, "Oh my God, did you see what Trump said?" And I was like, what did Trump say? What did Trump say this time? Oh boy, let me check. What did Trump say? Me? Yeah, it hits different when you're in the crosshairs, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty crazy. I hosted The Daily Show for 7 years, and for 7 years, we covered news and politics in America, right? Because that's what the show is. And in that time, Donald Trump was in the news and politics all the time, and so I assumed at some point maybe he would say something about me or come after me. He didn't, which I was happy about. I was like, great. And then I left The Daily Show, and I relaxed like an idiot in a horror movie. And I went off and started hosting the Grammys, and I was like, this is delightful. It's a music show. So much more chill. Turns out the president watches the Grammys. Yeah, and he was not happy. Was not happy at all. No, he had written a post, a lengthy post, giving me a Google review of my performance. And it wasn't like a flyby. It was like a full-on. Said, I'll read the full thing to you because I don't want to misquote anything. I'll read you. This is what I saw when I searched my name and his. It was a post on Truth Social from @RealDonaldTrump. Fun aside, Donald Trump owns Truth Social, so it's a little weird that he doesn't have @DonaldTrump. It's weird that somebody else got it and then he was like, fine, real Donald Trump. Anyway, this is what the message read. The Grammy Awards are the worst! Every time I shout, it's because the word is in all caps. I'm trying to give you a feeling of what I was experiencing, all right? Virtually unwatchable. So some parts were good. CBS is lucky not to have this garbage litter their airwaves any longer. The host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, that's a bit bitchy. Like, I know what he was trying to do, but I don't think he did it correctly. You can't say the host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, because that is exactly who I may be. I understand he was trying to dismiss me, but you said my full name and my job title on the night. You can't be dismissive and be vague and specific at the same time. That's not how that works. Whoever he may be. I be nobody else. There is no may in this equation. That is exactly who I be. Trevor Noah, the host, Social Security number 457-672-8135. Whoever he may be. No, that is me. It's weird. Like, you don't use that phrase when you know the person, whoever he may. You use that phrase when a stranger has ridden through your town and deflowered your daughter. That's when you use the phrase, I'm gonna kill that man, whoever he may be. It's also funny to switch to feudal English in the middle of a message. Right? It's just like, whoever he may be, fee, fi, fo, fum, I smell the blood of a South African. It's random. So he says, the host, Trevor Noah, whoever he may be, is almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel. Yo, poor Jimmy. I like Jimmy Kimmel. All right, and now because of me, he's catching strays. Like, he was at home minding his own business. Doesn't even work on Sundays. All of a sudden, his phone is like. I says, almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel at the Low Ratings Academy Awards. Then he goes on. Noah said, incorrectly, about me, that Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong! Now, just so we're on the same page, I did not say Donald Trump and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. I did not say that. I made a joke at the Grammys, right? One of many random jokes that I made. This one came after Billie Eilish had just won Song of the Year. Right? And I said, congratulations, Billie Eilish, Song of the Year. That is an award that every artist wants, almost as much as Donald Trump wants Greenland. Because now that Jeffrey Epstein is gone, he needs a new island where he can go hang out with Bill Clinton. Okay? That's what I said. That's what I said. I did not say he was on the island. I said that he would like his own island. Clearly a joke as well, because he wouldn't go with Bill Clinton, right? And Greenland is a terrible substitute for Epstein Island. Completely different climate, completely different vibe, all right? So he says, and Bill Clinton spent time on Epstein Island. Wrong! I can't speak for Bill. I love how in the midst of him, like, calling me the ultimate liar, it's like, this guy's a liar! Except about the Bill part. We gotta check that out, I mean, you know how this guy is. But I have never been to Epstein Island, nor anywhere close. That's unnecessary. The proximity to Epstein Island is not what people are litigating. Right? It's your proximity to the man who owned Epstein Island. It's not the land that's an issue. You know, it's not like, where were you in the Caribbean? Epstein Island? No, Jamaica. Busted! No. Nor anywhere close. And until tonight's false and defamatory statement, have never been accused of being there. Really? I was the first. Before me, no one had ever mentioned Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. I was the first. I am the reason his name is mentioned 5,000 times in those files. I set those dominoes into place and I tipped them over. Yeah, not even by the fake news media. Noah, a total loser, meow, better get his facts straight and get them straight fast.
It looks like I'll be sending my lawyers to sue this poor, pathetic, talentless dope of an MC and suing him for plenty, cha-ching. He put a dollar sign, I don't know what sound that is. Ask little George Slopadopoulos and others how that all worked out. Also, ask CBS. Get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. President DJT. Yeah, that last line is something. Yeah, that is, get ready, Noah. I'm going to have some fun with you. You know, if you're not trying to sound like a sexual deviant, this is not the line I would recommend. Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with you, is what someone says right after they've strapped on the head dildo. So yeah, that was my Monday. And I'll be honest, I wasn't too worried. You know, Donald Trump watches TV regularly, gets angry about what he sees, posts about it, and oftentimes he moves on. I thought something else would come along, right? Because in many ways he's like a squirrel that watches TV. Yeah, he'd be fully yeah, same size hands. So I was like, it'll move, it'll change. And it did. The next day, the big topic in the White House was the government shutdown. Right? There was a looming government shutdown. Because you know America's government is always on the edge of shutting down. I mean, at this point, I think you guys should switch to a family plan, right? Well, month-to-month thing is not working out. But they were interviewing the president about this. This is a serious topic. And in the middle of a conversation about the government shutdown, some journalist from the back of the room shouts out, "Mr. President, are you gonna sue Trevor Noah for what he said at the Grammys?" I'm like, dick? I was gone. Yeah, I always wondered what happened to that kid who was like, "Oh, teacher, you forgot to give us the homework." Then Trump went back in. "Oh yeah, Trevor Noah said I was on Epstein. Gonna sue him. Total lightweight, loser." Yeah, and so now I might be getting sued by the President of the United States. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it's a woo. I don't know if it's a ooh. No, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how to feel because I don't know how this will play out. If it was a normal time, I'd be pretty confident. Donald Trump would sue me. A judge would throw it out for a multitude of reasons. Well, you know, First Amendment protections, free expression, jokes, satire, all of these things are covered in a regular time. Yeah, and it would be Donald Trump suing me, whatever. But now it's not Donald Trump. Now I'm being sued by the President of the United States, Donald Trump. And I don't know what that means. Do I appeal? We get to the Supreme Court. I walk in, he's waiting there for me. He's like, "Say hello to my little friends." I don't know. Nobody knows. Yeah, with him, there is no knowing. You know? Just ask Nicolas Maduro. Former president of Venezuela. My therapist told me that I am undateable. Yeah. In a session, and she just turned to me and she said, "Trevor, I think it is because you are undateable." I was like, I guess you also didn't like the Grammys. She told me this at the end of a session, which I feel like should be illegal. Right? Where like therapists will drop a bomb on you at the end of a session and then just expect you to wait. It'll just be like, "Yeah, and that's why your father could never love you." And you're like, "What? Oh yeah, we've run out of time. I'll see you next time." No, next video. I don't want to wait a week. I want Netflix therapy, not HBO.
And I had to wait 2 weeks, and then in my next session, I was like, where were we? Let's go into it. And it was like, yeah, skip recap. Let's go. And she was like, well, Trevor, I was thinking about, you and relationships and what we're talking about. And we're talking about my inability to be in a long-term relationship. And I was trying to understand why, and we're delving into it. And she said, I think it's because you are undateable. And then she broke it down for me. She said, there are a few reasons. I think you work too much. I know you love your work, but you work too much, and that doesn't create a good balance in your life. She said, also, you travel too much. And being in the same place is crucial for building a solid relationship. But I'll be honest with you, those things are really just the side dish. Right? The main course and the real issue I have is, as my therapist put it, I have an inability to not say what is in my head. And she taught me that one of the keys to a long, successful relationship is knowing when to think and when to speak. Yeah. And I was like, I don't have that problem. I'm a good communicator. She's like, no, Trevor, oftentimes, you have thoughts and you immediately say them. You just have the thought and it comes out your mouth. And Trump was like, tell him, girl. I was like, I don't know. I don't think I have that as a problem. I think it's probably something. She's like, no, I've got notes. Hold on, I've got some notes. And she pulled out the notes and she's like, let's go through some examples. And there was one example that really, she was right. It happened with an ex-girlfriend of mine. It was the fracture that led to the end of the relationship, really. It wasn't the moment, but that fracture caused the outcome. We were getting ready for bed. It was an innocuous night, brushing our teeth, getting into the covers. And then before we turned off the lights, we started talking to each other, and we got really cozy. You know those moments where you're with the person you love, and you just find yourself in a rabbit hole of stories you've never told and feelings you've never shared, and you're laughing, and you can feel you're falling more in love. And we're lying there on the pillows, looking at each other, and she's there staring at me. And all of a sudden, she's like, hey, can I ask you a question? I was like, yeah. Yeah, of course. She's like, if you could change one thing about me, what would you change? Now, I have since learned that there is a correct answer to this question. And yes, one correct answer. Regardless of how unique your relationship is, if you want to win this game show question, the answer you give, if she says to you, if there's a woman in your life and she says, if there's one thing you could change about me, what would you change? The correct answer is nothing. Aha. Yes, I wish you were all there with me that night. Yes. Correct answer is nothing. You say, nothing, babe. I would change nothing about you because everything you are makes you perfect for me. If anything, can I be honest? I would change myself. I would change myself so that I would be better able to receive the love that you so freely give. That is what I would change. Hide from it. Like when I saw them doing this, I was like, man, I wish America did this with history. You know? Because you ever see how awkward it is speaking about history in America? It gets tense. Doesn't matter what history it is, it gets tense. You know, Columbus Day is one of those days. Every year in New York, there's a fight. Every year. Here in Detroit, there was a fight. There was a bust of Christopher Columbus that was around for 110 years. At some point, half of Detroit was like, we need to get rid of it. The other half was like, no, don't get rid of it. It was a huge fight. New York, same thing, every year. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, there was an interview on the news I saw once. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I found it funny.
the reporter went up to some guy and was like, "Sir, what are you going to be doing for Indigenous Peoples Day?" And he was like, "Let me tell you something, it's Columbus Day. I'm sick and tired of people coming in and changing the name. We're proud of that day. It's Christopher Columbus. It's Columbus Day. It's not going to change. In fact, how would you feel if somebody came along, took something that's been around for a long time, and just decided to switch it and call it something else? Huh? How would you feel?" I was like, "But sir, isn't that the spirit of Columbus Day?" I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Indigenous Peoples Day, the title. I don't like it. I think it's a cop-out. I don't think it's specific enough. It's lazy. You know, Indigenous Peoples Day. Which Indigenous people? Where? How? Give me something, you know? You know what I liked about Columbus Day? Is that it was specific. Yeah. It was a specific, inspiring story of a man by the name Christopher Columbus, who believed against all odds that he could sail the wrong way around the world and get to India from the other side. Nobody believed in him. Yeah. He was like, "I'm gonna do this." They were like, "You can't do it, Chris." And he was like, "I'm gonna do it." They're like, "You can't do it, Chris." He's like, "I'm gonna do it." They're like, "You can't do it, Chris." And he raised money, he fought for years, he finally got the ships, and he sailed the wrong way around the world, and he didn't do it. Not only did he not land on the other side of India, he found himself in a place called the Caribbean, and he was like, "This is India." And the people there were like, "I don't know if you've been eating some of the herb we've been leaving about, but this is totally not India." And they're like, "This is India, and you guys are Indians." They're like, "Brother, we are not Indians." He's like, "I know Indians when I don't see them. You're Indians. You're just on the far side, so you're West Indians." And he stuck with it. Christopher Columbus stuck with it his entire life. Other explorers would come to him, they'd be like, "Yo, Chris, I don't think you made it to India." He's like, "It's India." They're like, "I don't think it's India." He's like, "It's India." He died refusing to acknowledge the possibility that he never made it to India. Not only that, my friends, he never set foot in America. Ever. Ever. And yet, he had a public holiday named after him in America. That, my friends, is the inspiring story of how white men can fail up. You know how much confidence you have to pull that off? Nobody else. That is white man confidence. Nobody else possesses that level of confidence. Go the wrong way, end up in the wrong place, call the wrong people the wrong name, and be like, "I'm right, give me a holiday." No one else can do that. That is the level of confidence we should all aspire to. Is white man levels of confidence. Women couldn't pull that off. You think any woman should be like, "I'm gonna sail the wrong way around the earth"? They'd be like, "Burn her, she's a witch." You think people of color could have pulled that off? You think black people could pull that off? Wow, really? Black people's gonna sail around the world, wrong way around, get to the place they're not supposed to be, probably get arrested for trespassing. Be like, "What are you doing here?" Be like, "Man, my bad, man. I thought I was getting to India, man. My bad, man. I apologize. Man, I don't even know what I was thinking, man. You know what, man? We should have never messed with ships. It never turns out good, man. I apologize. I apologize, man. This won't happen again." Why would you want to bury your history? So much joy, there's so much to learn. You know? It feels like America's moving in that direction. You know, it wants less and less of its history, wants less and less context. You look what's happening with textbooks. Places like Florida, they want to ban textbooks or cut out the parts of the textbooks that have slavery in the books. And now parents are fighting. They're like, "Oh, no, take the slavery out, it's making the kids feel bad." And other parents are like, "Keep the slavery in, it's teaching the children." And these parents are fighting back and forth. I'm like, why? what you don't need to be fighting about. No one should be fighting about this. Kids don't read textbooks. They watch TikTok. If you want to get to the kids, that's where you gotta be. There was slavery. Ships came. Yeah, they. I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact that inflation is out of control. You don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control. People cannot afford to live anywhere. Your salaries have never kept up with inflation. Corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going. You know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly. Who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out. They go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm going to make it seem like this is a nationwide issue. And then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it right now? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. Who can use which bathroom? Who cares? Who cares? I mean it. Who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's going to stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's going to enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're gonna figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're gonna fight because you gotta know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in. Public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like, you be like, hey man, hey, you all right? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. And if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. Like, how does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually... In fact, any man in here, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell, there is no stain, there is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady's pooing, never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee, it takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, right? Gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out, washes her hands, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, if she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurants. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry. This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh? Yo, I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them and then what? Like he's gay and I'm just standing there and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away and I get hard and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later we get married and our families are joined and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Wow. Public bathrooms. Now would be the perfect time for an alien invasion. There's no good time. I think we can all agree on that. But if I had to pick a time, I would say this is the best time. Yeah. Because if aliens invade, it's not going to be good for us. Right? We know we don't stand a chance. If they can travel through space-time, our weapons mean nothing. We're probably just going to annoy them with our guns. Pew, 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 pew. They're gonna get here, and we've seen how it turns out, right? They fly in, right? They're gonna blow everything up. We've watched Independence Day. We know how this happens, right? Yeah, and even if Will Smith helps, he can only slap like one at a time, you know? So what do? I think about it all the time. Genuine. I think about alien invasions all the time. It is my Roman Empire. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, I never used to think about this. Like when I lived in South Africa, this was nowhere in my mind. But in America, it's a real thing. Yeah, because when aliens come, this is where they're gonna come. Yeah, they're gonna fly here, they come straight to Washington, D.C., blow up the White House, and they go to other countries, you know, they go to London, blow up Big Ben. You know what time it is? And they fly to other landmarks, blow everything up. I know, it's an issue. America first, I get it. Yeah. When I was in South Africa, this is something I never thought about, ever. Because I knew when aliens invade, they're gonna go, they're gonna blow up the world. But the one place they don't go is Africa. Yeah, you've seen the movies. They never invade Africa. I used to watch those movies all the time, and I'd wait. In the movie, the president would come and be like, citizens of Earth, aliens are invading our planet. Then you'd see the aliens invade, and then you'd be like, wait, I guess Africa's not on the planet? What is happening? They never invaded. Can you think of a single movie where they invaded Africa? District 9. No. What? District 9. District 9. No. And screw you for trying to mess up my special. Sitting up there in the balcony like a king. District 9, I tell you. Off with his head. No. District 9, it's a good attempt, but no. If you remember the plot of District 9, the aliens didn't invade Africa. The aliens crash landed in Africa. And then they spent the rest of the movie trying to escape. Because we don't mess around. Hollywood is so messed up. Yeah, it's just like, what's the worst thing that could happen to aliens? What if they were trapped in Africa? Aliens never invade, man. They don't invade Africa. They just never did. I used to think it was because they felt bad for us. Yeah, because as a kid, I used to love watching those movies. I still love watching them now. But as a kid, I loved those movies. Anything with aliens, I was there. And my mom, she would give me she'd make me like a big bowl of popcorn at home, and we would sit on the couch together, and she'd watch all of those movies with me. Not, she hated them, but it said parental guidance, and she took that very seriously. Like one day she was walking past, and then it was like, we recommend parental guidance for this film, and she was like, I gotta watch this, and then she did it every movie going forward. I would have to run and call her sometimes. The show would just start randomly on TV, and they'd be like, parental, and I'd be like, Mom! Mom! And then she'd come in and be like, what? I need you to guide me. Yeah, but then like 5 minutes in, I feel like I was guiding my parental, because she would sit there, and then the whole movie she'd be like, what's happening, Trevor? Who are they? Who are these people? Why are they doing this? What's going on here? I'd be like, Mom, I'm with you. I'm with you. I started this movie with you. So she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn, and we'd sit there, and then the movie would start. And the alien invasion, they'd be like, aliens are invading Earth. And the aliens would fly, and you'd see them blowing everything up, and I'd be there with my popcorn like, first world problems. I genuinely thought, I was a little kid. If you ask me, like, how come you never see them in Africa? I was like, oh, because they feel bad. I thought the aliens felt bad for Africa. You know, there'd be the ship that would fly over each continent to blow it up. And then there'd be one over the African continent, 2 aliens in the cockpit, like, prepare to launch photon lasers. You get ready on your command. 3, 2, 1. Wait, hold on. I think we already did this continent. I think we've been here. Negative, we've never been here before. Blow it up. What am I blowing up? Look at this shit, something already happened. What the hell's going on here, dude? What am I supposed to blow up? Who did this? I don't know. Checking now. Beep, 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 beep. It says it was the British. Yeah! And current inmate of New York City. Yeah, he was president of Venezuela. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't. The story is even crazier. What happened was, and you can go check this yourself, what happened was, Nicolas Maduro was on TV giving an interview. And then he joked about how people are threatening him, alluding to Donald Trump. And he was like, man, I'll be fine, we'll be good. And then he played a song, no war, just peace. And then he started mocking Trump by doing Donald Trump's dance move. Like the move, singular. Right? Yeah, he did the move. So he came on and then he did the... You know the move, the double jerk off. And Trump saw that and he was like, go get that man. Go get that man. Military went, got Maduro, brought him in, put him in a jail. Not just any prison, by the way. They put him in a prison in Brooklyn. The same prison where they are housing Diddy. Imagine that. I thought I had problems. Nicolas Maduro, he's having, whew. Imagine the irony of his situation. He was witnessing America rolling out the most brutal deportation campaign ever. And in the midst of that, you're the one immigrant they import. Maduro's probably the only immigrant who supports ICE. Yeah, he used his one phone call for them. He's like, hello, ICE, come get me, man, come get me. Yeah. No, come on, I'll fly myself. Let's work together. Come on, we can do this, guys. We can do this. That's why I say you don't know how it's going to go. Nobody knows anymore. What a crazy twist of fate. Can you imagine? For decades, you ruled your empire with an iron fist. You terrorized people around you. You were violent, never held accountable. And now they've taken away all your oil and you're in the same prison as Nicolas Maduro. Ain't that a bitch? The one silver lining of this whole situation is that now would be the perfect time for an alien invasion. There's no good time. I think we can all agree on that. But if I had to pick a time, I would say this is the best time. Yeah. Because if aliens invade, it's not going to be good for us. Right? We know we don't stand a chance. If they can travel through space-time, our weapons mean nothing. We're probably just going to annoy them with our guns. Pew, 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 pew. You know, they're going to get here, and we've seen how it turns out, right? They fly in, they're going to blow everything up. We've watched Independence Day. We know how this happens, right? Yeah, and even if Will Smith helps, he can only slap like one at a time, you know? So what do? I think about it all the time. Genuine. I think about alien invasions all the time. It is my Roman Empire. Like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, I never used to think about this. Like when I lived in South Africa, this was nowhere in my mind. But in America, it's a real thing. Yeah, because when aliens come, this is where they're gonna come. Yeah, they're gonna fly here. They come straight to Washington, D.C., blow up the White House. And they go to other countries, you know, they go to London, blow up Big Ben. You know what time it is. And they fly to other landmarks, blow everything up. I know it's an issue. America first. I get it. Yeah. When I was in South Africa, this is something I never thought about, ever. Because I knew when aliens invade, they're gonna go, they're gonna blow up the world. But the one place they don't go is Africa. Yeah. You've seen the movies. They never invade Africa. I used to watch those movies all the time, and I'd wait. In the movie, the president would come and be like, citizens of Earth,
aliens are invading our planet. Then you'd see the aliens invade, and then you'd be like, wait, I guess Africa's not on the planet? What is happening? They never invaded. Can you think of a single movie where they invaded Africa? No. What? District 9. No. And screw you for trying to mess up my special. Sitting up there in the balcony like a king. District 9, I tell you. Off with his head. No. District 9, it's a good attempt, but no. If you remember the plot of District 9, the aliens didn't invade Africa. The aliens crash landed in Africa. And then they spent the rest of the movie trying to escape. Because we don't mess around. Hollywood is so messed up. Yeah, it's just like, what's the worst thing that could happen to aliens? What if they were trapped in Africa? Aliens never invade, man. They don't invade Africa. They just never did. I used to think it was because they felt bad for us. Yeah, because as a kid, I used to love watching those movies. I still love watching them now. But as a kid, I loved those movies. Anything with aliens, I was there. And my mom, she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn at home, and we would sit on the couch together, and she'd watch all of those movies with me. Not, she hated them, but it said parental guidance, and she took that very seriously. Like one day she was walking past, and then it was like, we recommend parental guidance for this film, and she was like, I gotta watch this, and then she did it every movie going forward. I would have to run and call her sometimes. The show would just start randomly on TV, and they'd be like, parental, and I'd be like, Mom! Mom! And then she'd come in and be like, what? I'd be like, I need you to guide me. Yeah, but then like 5 minutes in, I feel like I was guiding my parental, because she would sit there, and then the whole movie she'd be like, what's happening, Trevor? Who are they? Who are these people? Why are they doing this? What's going on here? I'd be like, Mom, I'm with you. I'm with you. I started this movie with you. So she would make me like a big bowl of popcorn, and we'd sit there, and then the movie would start, and the alien invasion, they'd be like, aliens are invading Earth. And the aliens would fly in, and you'd see them blowing everything up, and I'd be there with my popcorn like, first world problems. I genuinely thought, I was a little kid. If you ask me, like, how come you never see them in Africa? I was like, oh, because they feel bad. I thought the aliens felt bad for Africa. You know, there'd be the ship that would fly over each continent to blow it up. And then there'd be one over the African continent, 2 aliens in the cockpit, like, prepare to launch photon lasers. You get ready on your command. 3, 2, 1. Wait, hold on. I think we already did this continent. I think we've been here. Negative, we've never been here before. Blow it up. What am I blowing up? Look at this shit, something already happened. What the hell's going on here, dude? What am I supposed to blow up? Who did this? I don't know, checking now. Beep, 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 beep. It says it was the British. Yeah! Take that, Great Britain. Hashtag never forget. Now, those alien movies, man, they made my day, but they terrified me. Because every time it didn't go well, the aliens fly in, they conquer the Earth, we win by luck because it's a movie, but in real life, I don't know. It's not good. We have no chance. If aliens invade, we have no hope. Or at least we had no hope. Now there is. And it goes by the name Donald J. Trump. Whoever he may be. I don't like it, but I think it's the only way. Yeah. As soon as the alien invasion begins, we know how it starts. It's going to be that giant mothership that flies into our orbit, and that massive thing that blocks out the sun.
They have a giant speaker under the ship that plays the music. It creates the ambiance. Yeah, there's one alien on the inside playing a little organ. He's just like, they're not ready for this one, B. Bah. Ha yeah. Bah. And then they park the ship outside, and they send a little scout ship down to give us the bad news. The one that lands like, boom, and they come out, take me to your leader. All right, and they meet the leader, kill the leader, and then it's done. Yeah, they normally pick the most annoying alien for that job. Right? You got to be a specific type of entitled to just believe you can speak to the leader. Like, who are you? So on the alien ship, they'll normally pick the Karen alien. They'll be like, all right, chatting to each other like, who are we gonna send down to this planet? Let's send Karen. She's the best for this. Karen, you're going down. Oh my God, why is it always me? I hate this so much. You guys are always sending me. I can't believe this. I want to speak to the manager. She's perfect. They send that alien down and give us the bad news. With Trump, we have hope, but we have to act quick, people, real quick. As soon as they tell us, the aliens are here, NASA tells us they've reached our orbit, we act together as a planet. And what we need to do is we make Donald Trump king of the world. I see some of you are confused. The good news is he won't ask any questions. All right? We just go to the White House, we're like, Mr. Trump, you are now king of the world. And he'd be like, I knew it, yeah. And then we give him a little Burger King crown, and then we go and wait for the aliens outside. Aliens land, they come out, that one is just like, take me to your leader. And we're like, yes, welcome to Earth. Come on, come meet the leader. Come meet the leader. Come meet the leader. Take me now. Yeah, of course, we're gonna take you there. How you doing, by the way? You looking good? You on Ozempic? What's going on there? You looking great. Come on, come meet the leader. We get to the White House, and we're like, King Trump. This is the alien. Alien, this is King Trump. Are you the ruler of this planet? And be like, that's right. I'm the ruler of this planet. Planet Earth, or as I call her, Big Blue. Beautiful, beautiful blue, floating up in space. She's up there spinning around, spinning so fast. You know, they say we're spinning. I never felt it, but they say we're spinning. We're spinning around, folks, spinning so fast. And we're up there in space. We got a beautiful axis right through the middle of the planet. A big, beautiful, long axis. They don't make axes like that anymore. They really don't. And we got that axis, and it's tilted, you know, it's tilted. If I was in charge, I would have straightened it right out. But that's okay. Thanks, Obama. And it's up there, floating up in space, a beautiful planet, beautiful blue. We got a tiny moon. Did you see the moon? Beautiful moon. A beautiful moon. Looks like a nipple on a boob. That's what it looks like. Like one boob floating in space. Should be two. I always say two boobs. Better than one. But one better than none. Can I say boobs? I said it, folks. I said boobs. And I'm the ruler of this planet. What do you want? What do you need? What can I do for you? They'd be like, burp, beep, sorry, we didn't know it was already invaded. Boop, boop, beep, beep. Beep, boop, beep, beep. And that's how we survive. Be honest, we wouldn't be shocked if we found out he was an alien. I actually think we'd be relieved. You know, people are like, oh my God, that explains it. Yeah, if two aliens that looked exactly like him, like a mom and dad version of him, came down and they land on the planet, they're like, oh, help us, we left our son here many decades ago. Where's our baby? We'd be like, come on. Can't get your baby. Because he is, man. He's out of this world. And now, we are living through history. Do you ever think about that? Like, we are all living through history. And not like history, like just time that passed. You know, like, because there's that boring history, like, and then the people settled here, whatever. I'm talking about like history where some shit happened. You know when you read the books and you're like, yo, what was it like back then? Yeah, we're in the back then. That's all of us. My history is terrible now, I've realized. Because they record everything that is said at the White House. It is kept for posterity. All right? So that means in like 300 years, there'll be scholars studying old presidents and the White House, and they'll be like, what was it like 300 years ago? You're like, I don't know, but the Grammys host was terrible. Yes, a total loser, apparently. And a bunny was performing at the Super Bowl. Also terrible. Absolutely terrible. What a time. You know, the weird thing about living through history is it's so much less predictable when you are the one doing it. Like, when you read history or when we're taught history, it is often presented as if it was inevitable. You read the stories, you assume that is how they would have always ended because that's how they ended. Like, if I asked most people, do you think the Nazis will always lose the war? They'd be like, yeah, of course the Nazis would always lose the war. And yet at the time, the people who were fighting the war thought that the Nazis were going to win. There was a moment when it seemed like it was in their favor. When you're in history, it's a completely different gambit. Like, whenever I'm in Washington, D.C., I like to go and visit the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And if you've never been, let me tell you, it is one of the most profound experiences you will ever have in your life. It is a museum unlike any other I've ever been to, for a few reasons. You know, one is it is as complete a telling as is possible of black history in America, which is history. But it's a history that's often not told, right? And you go to this building, and unlike other museums, you can't just choose your own adventure. You know, normally you walk in a museum and then it's like, what do you want to do? Dinosaurs or space? You pick. There, they curate your moving through time. And so when you get to the museum, you start at the very beginning of black people in America, and then it moves all the way through to the present day, right? And so it starts underground, literally, you go underground, and then it starts with slavery, spoiler alert. And then they move you through time, and then you get to the end, and then there's Oprah. That museum truly, like, it'll make you ask every question of yourself. I was there on my most recent trip, and I was walking through the beginning level, and it's underground, and it's chattel slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, and then the Underground Railroad. And so it's an emotional ride as well. You know, it's painful, it's oppression, and then there's this moment where you can see people rising up and fighting for what they believe in, overcoming. And because it's so engaging, you see people experiencing it in a different way. There were these two kids next to me, maybe 14 years old, and they were having a conversation that I was eavesdropping on, and the one turns to the other one, he's like, yo, man, he's like, what would you have done if you was around back then, man? He's like, would you have been a slave? He's like, yeah, well, yo, what? He's like, nah, they would have had the wrong one, man. They would have had the wrong one. Yo, I would have cooked their ass, man. You trying to make me a slave? I would have cooked their ass. He's like, nah, you capping. He's like, nah, for real, I would have cooked their ass. I would have cooked their ass. And they're laughing and they're engaging in it. And I was like, either this is the delusion of youth, which is necessary for a revolution, or that's who they would be. Either way, it didn't matter. What I loved is that they were asking the question, who will you be when history calls? Because of them, I found myself asking the question, and honestly, I think I need to work on my self-esteem, because I came up with nothing as heroic. Like, if you asked me, Trevor, what would you do during slavery? I'll be like, I would have worked really hard and seen what happened. I don't think I would have been a hero. I don't have it. I'm impressed by people who say those things. If I was around back then, if I was in the store when they robbed it, I would have done. I don't have that in me. I don't. Like, I would be in the field and I'd just be working hard and I'd be minding my own business. You know, and the guy on the horse would come and be like, you better work hard, boy. You better pick that goddamn cotton. I'd be like, yes, massa. That's a picking this a cotton, massa. That's a picking away, massa. Oh, but as soon as he rides away, I'd light his ass up. Oh, I would roast him to bits. I'd be like, that dumb ass. Is he back? No. But I don't think I would have been a hero. Yeah, like a real hero would have showed up. Like Harriet Tubman would show up. She'd be like, psst, yo, Trev. Like, oh, hi, Harriet. How you doing? I'm doing shit. Oh no, what happened? Slavery happened. What you mean, what happened, boy? You stupid or something? Oh yeah, of course, I shouldn't have. Anyway, what's going on, Harriet? I just came to let you know that we're leaving tonight. Who's we? All of us, Trevor. We're getting out of here. We're going, baby. Oh yeah, Harriet, the guy on the horse says we shouldn't leave. He really doesn't like it when we leave. I think he has like separation anxiety or something. He should see someone about that. But he said, I don't give a shit what he said. We're getting out of here. What are you saying? You gonna stay? Yeah, I think I'll stay and just, see how it goes. See how it goes? What's wrong with you? You not coming? No, I'm not gonna come. I can't believe you. You light skins is all the same. What? Yeah. You scared, ain't you? You a scared little bitch. I am a bitch, Harriet. I cannot lie. I'm a scared little bitch. Look at you, scared little bitch. You almost as bad as Jimmy Kimmel. Sorry, sometimes I do jokes just for me. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Everyone was asking themselves the question. Everyone. One of the most unique encounters I experienced happened when there was a group of white people who were standing at the exhibit, and they were very, very liberal white people, right? Like very liberal white, like very, very liberal white people. Like they were feeling it more than the black people there. They were. Yeah, to show how much they were feeling it, there was a moment where some of the black people who were walking around the exhibit, right? Because there's black people walking around the exhibit and there's white people there, because everyone can go, right? And so the black people who were there were living what I would consider the full black experience, which is being a human being. So some people were crying, and then a moment later they were talking to their friends, sharing stories, recounting, laughing, etc. And one person laughed, was like talking to their friend, like, ha 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 ha, yeah. And then the woman, there was a white woman here, who was like the leader of the crew. She turned at that laugh, she was like, ha ha, and she was like, shh. That's how liberal they were. And just when I thought she couldn't top that, she was looking at a photograph, one of the first pictures that's ever really been taken. And it was a picture of a white man on a plantation, standing there, smiling, standing in a field, just like smiling in the picture. And this woman is standing looking at the picture, and she's like, if I was there when that was happening, I swear to God, if I was there when that was happening, I would have never smiled. You know when a sentence has the exact conclusion you did not predict? Like this was, I thought she was going, if I was there, I would have fought, I would have freed, I would have, no. She's like, I would have had slaves, but I wouldn't have enjoyed it. Just be crying, I'm so sorry this is happening to you. I'm so sorry. Yeah, dust behind the couch as well, but I'm so sorry. I can't. It was really, really something. You know, you moved through that level there for more than an hour. At the end of it, I was so taken by the question that I was asking myself, who will you be when history calls, that I texted one of my best friends, David Meyer. He's actually the first American I ever became friends with. He came to South Africa by chance 20 years ago, was on like a school project, We met by chance, became friends by chance, and then he convinced me to come to America and do comedy, which I had never planned to do. The rest is history. So we've been friends since that day, right? And yeah, it's a beautiful story. And also, our lives are so different. He's this 6'5", lanky white boy from North Carolina, right? Sweetest guy ever, super sincere. And because of that, I love playing pranks on him. And as we left that exhibit, I texted him, and I was like, yo, Dave, I need to ask you a favor. And he responded, he's like, yo, dude, what's up? And I said, if slavery comes back, do you promise to have me as one of your slaves and treat me really well? And then he responded, he was like, dude, what? And I said, do you promise to have me as your slave and treat me very well? And he was like, what are you talking about? And I said, yes or no? And then I just saw the little dots, and it was like typing, 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 and then he called me. I was like, yo, what's up? He's like, dude, what are you even talking about, man? What is happening? What do you mean slavery? I was like, I just want to know from you, Dave. If slavery comes back, do you promise to have me as one of your slaves and treat me really well? He's like, dude, no. What do you mean? Slavery is not coming back. Slavery is not coming back. I was like, that's what they said about Ghostbusters. Just answer the question. Will you or will you not have me as one of you? He's like, no, dude, no. I would never have you as one of my slaves. I would never own